Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's episode of Throwback Thursday, I will be reviewing the Allman Brothers Band live at the Beacon Theater concert DVD. It comes in a standard plastic DVD case that holds 2 DVDs because it is a long concert, as well as a 4-page insert that features a handful of band photos and an essay written by Josh Chasin. The set list and credits are listed on the back of the case as well. So in March 2003, the legendary Allman Brothers returned to New York City's iconic Beacon Theater for their annual residency, known to fans simply as the Beacon Run. 2 of those electrifying performances were captured for this DVD, preserving a truly inspired moment in the band's late-era resurgence. At the time, the group was touring in support of Hittin the Note, their first studio release in more than 9 years, and notably their first without founding guitarist, singer, and songwriter Dickie Betts. For many longtime fans, that absence raised an obvious question. Could the band still deliver at the highest level? The answer is a resounding yes. With Warren Haynes, who had been contributing his formidable guitar work, soulful vocals, and songwriting since 1989, fully entrenched in the new lineup, and the arrival of slide guitar prodigy Derek Trucks, nephew of founding drummer Butch Trucks, the band found renewed fire and chemistry. The interplay between Haynes and Trucks is just nothing short of exhilarating, blending technical mastery with deep emotional expression. The result is some of the most vital, passionate music the Allman Brothers had produced in over a decade. A powerful reminder of why their Beacon residencies became the stuff of legend. Live at the Beacon Theater was recorded on March 25th and 26th, 2003, and captures this current lineup really beginning to hit their stride. Founding member and band leader Gregg Allman had been sober since the mid-90s, and his vocals were starting to show some signs of the strength and passion it once had again. The guitar duo of Haynes and Trucks was one of the best going for that 15-year run with the brothers, and nearly rivaled the band's original super duo of Dickie Betts and Duane Allman. The incredible chemistry that was exhibited between the latter duo and such classics as At Fillmore East is not quite there yet, but you will see it developing quite nicely here. The 22-song setlist is a good mix of new and old, anchored by a healthy dose of 7 songs from the new Hittin the Note album, and going all the way back to their debut album for 3 songs. Along with all the classics, 2 previously unreleased songs, Change Is Gonna Come and Weary Down with the Blues, were also showcased here. The show kicks off with the somewhat laid-back Eat a Peach classic, Ain't Wastin' Time No More, which immediately introduces you to the unique tone of Derek Trucks' incredible slide guitar and gives the band a little time to stretch out and get warmed up. The stage is set up rather unremarkably, balanced by 2 full drum kits and a wall of percussion in front of a large video screen displaying the retro psychedelic imagery reminiscent of the old Fillmore shows. By the end of the second song, Black-Hearted Woman, a throwback to their 1969 debut album, simply titled The Allman Brothers Band, the band is now firing on all cylinders, perfectly setting the stage for the electrifying Statesboro blues. By this point, it's clear that Warren Haynes and Derek Trucks were born to be Allman Brothers. Their playing feels nothing short of transcendent. Watching this concert kind of reminded me of a hilarious story that Zakk Wylde shared in an old interview with Guitar World. Recalling a 1993 show at Great Woods where he was filling in for Betts, Wylde described a moment during rehearsals when Gregg Allman strolled over and in his slow southern drawl asked, "Yo, Zakk, bro, you know how to play Dreams, bro?" Wylde deadpanned, "Oh, the Molly Hatchet song?" To which Allman shot back, "Man, another comment like that and we're going to have to send you back home." As Wylde later put it, they hated Molly Hatchet, That's too bad because I've always loved them, especially their first two albums. And I have to admit, I even prefer their take on Dreams over the Allman studio version, though to be fair, they absolutely tear it up live on this DVD. Most of the old classics are performed here, including Statesboro Blues, Midnight Rider, Melissa, and Whipping Post. But all of the great Betts songs, such as In Memory of Elizabeth Reed, Rambling Man, and Jessica, were notably absent. Haynes' songwriting skills have kept the band from simply carrying on as a tribute to themselves to being a creative force for several more years to come. Check out his work with his own band, Government Mule, to see exactly what I mean. His song Soulshine was one of the highlights of the Allman Brothers' 1994 album, Where It All Begins, and is one of the highlight performances of this concert. Haynes also co-wrote all of the new songs on Hitting the Note and also sings a few of them as well. One of those songs, a muscular blues rock anthem, Rocking Horse, was an early highlight of the show. Haynes also sang lead on a remarkable 11-minute performance of the old Willie Dixon number, The Same Thing, which featured a three-piece horn section and showcased some incredible funky bass playing from the relative new Allman brother at the time, Oteil Burbridge, who took over for Alan Woody in 1997 when Haynes left to concentrate full-time on Government Mule. Woody died in 2000, and Haynes obviously rejoined the Allmans the same year and pulled double duty with both bands. Although Gregg Allman's vocals showed signs of recovering some of their former strength and glory, his singing was still only a shadow of what it once was. Ballads such as Melissa and the newer Desmodina expose the diminished depth and strength of his vocals. And on more rocking numbers like Whipping Post, he sounds downright restrained compared to some of the powerful past performances, especially the live ones. Even so, Whipping Post brought the set to an incredible close, with both drummers and percussionists really hitting their stride, and Haynes and Trucks trading ferocious guitar licks for 11 minutes straight. This was one of the best extended jams I had seen in a long while. So after sweating it out for more than 2.5 hours already, the brothers returned to the stage for an encore performance of the enduring classic, One Way Out. You are not a real jam band, or as Gregg Allman prefers it, a band that jams, unless you play for at least 3 hours, right? This great performance provided the perfect send-off for all the faithful Allman Brothers fans in attendance at the Beacon that night. There is not much to complain about with the production quality of this DVD. The picture is not exactly the sharpest, and it is only presented in its original full-frame format, but you can really get a sense of being down there in the crowd. Audio was presented in 3 flavors, Dolby Digital 5.1 Surround and 2.0, and DTS 5.1 Surround. After sampling the Dolby tracks, I stuck with the DTS mix, and it sounded very powerful. There was a lot of different sounds being thrown around on stage, especially with 2 drum kits and a ton of percussion fighting to be heard. But each of the instruments stood out well in the mix and never sounded too cluttered. The camera work was generally very good, but the angle changes came a little too quickly at times. On the plus side, the shows were shot in a way to make you sometimes feel like you are right up there on stage with the band, and at other times like you are just kicking back having a beer in the middle of the crowd. The highlight of the bonus features had to be the stunning backstage performance of Old Friends. Haynes and Trucks sit down in one of the backstage dressing rooms with a couple of acoustic guitars and some bottleneck slides, and proceed to tear through an incredibly poignant performance of this killer blues ballad from the new Hitting the Note album. Haynes' vocals really shine on this one too. Equally impressive is the fascinating 76-minute band interview, which provides some real excellent insight into the current state of the band at the time and all of the problems they had endured in the recent past. Most of the band's recent turmoil appeared to be attributed to Dickie Betts, without anyone actually coming right out and saying it. Allman talks about it being totally a group effort this time, no dark clouds hanging over the place, no bullies, nothing but good times and good music. Good music indeed. The set list shown here featured a glorious 22 songs, and the concert runtime was just a few minutes short of 3 hours. As for my ratings of this concert DVD, my overall production rating is a 7 out of 10, and my overall performance rating is an 8 out of 10. All right, that's it for me today. Let me know your thoughts on the Allman Brothers Band live at the Beacon Theater in the comments, and please don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Thanks, and catch you next time.